When did you begin this, what you're doing now?
I started this about 2 months ago when we had the clamor by the Gen Z for change in our country.
The contractor for this road has already been paid 238 million, and he says bado serikali iko na deni yake ya 200 and something million, ndio maana hajafanya kazi. I'm going to show you shortly how the road looks like and its conditions so that you see your 238 million mahali imefika.
Yes, I've been getting some support from Kenyans. They've been sending me M-Pesa for fuel. It has really assisted me in terms of fuel. So far, I've been able to use 4 full tanks. A full tank for the vehicle is like 18,000. That's about 72,000. The day I was in Kisumu County, Kabondo Kanyagwal ward.
Kabondo Kanyagwal?
Yes.
Watu wa Kabondo Kanyagwal wako salama? Wako
salama. Mimi nimewaletea salamu kutoka kwa watu wa Kisumu. Nataka sasa tuweke tena mpango. In another 1 month, tutakuwa tumeweka ile Fisheries Institute ambayo tulipanga ya 2.5 billion pale Kabondo Kanyagwal.
Ulifika mpaka bahari? Ama ulikaribia tu?
I neared the lake.
Yes, because Kanyagwal is very near.
Yes. You know, 1 month is just next month, September. I'm just saying, just in case you know.
What took you there?
What took me there is I went to see a project that was launched by His Excellency the President. That project is called the Kabondo Kanyagwal Fisheries and Aquaculture Research Center. And it was supposed to be funded by the Exim Bank of Hungary to a tune of 2.5 billion. And I went to see whether the project is there. Since it was launched, I wanted to see whether there is some works that has begun, whether contractors are on site, and whether we have hope of having the Kabondo Kanyagwal Fisheries and Aquaculture Research Institute. Unfortunately, I found children playing and nothing but the plaque which the president used to launch the institute, which was looking like an abandoned grave.
So the plaque is there?
It's there.
Is there a fence?
No, there is no fence.
There's no fence?
There's no fence.
Is there any structure at all?
There is no structure at all. President, on his X page, this is what he wrote. During, he posted pictures, then said, during the launch of the Kabonyo Fisheries Aquaculture Service and Training Center of Excellence, a project that will produce over 10 million fingerlings annually.
There's a fingerling city.
Ile seed. Samaki. Fish seed.
Fish seed.
Okay. So this is one area that you went to yesterday.
Yes.
Where else have you been to?
Yesterday alone, I toured 3 counties. I was in Kisumu County. Before Kisumu County, I was in Nandi County. I went to see the Deputy County Commissioner's office, which was being built in Chesumei. Then before that, I was in Uasin Gishu County, next to the airport. I was looking at Kipkaren Water Treatment Project. Yes.
Ulipata nini huko? Tupeleke Kipkaren kwanza.
Wacha niwapeleke Kipkaren. So Kipkaren was a project that was being funded by the Africa Development Bank. Right? The value of the project for Kipkaren was 1.185 billion, but it was in US dollars. So I'm assuming that by now that value could be higher. So it was about 7 years ago. The purpose of this project was to provide up to 23 million liters per day of water into Eldoret. As you can see, Eldoret has been now upgraded into a city. But there is still a big problem of water, especially in areas of Langas, Racecourse Ward, Pioneer Estate, Kapsoya, where we have water rationing because the water that is coming in from the Kapsoya water project is not able to serve all the residents of Eldoret. So this project was conceptualized in 7 years ago. That's when the tender was awarded to a contractor called Mashiri. Now, I went there to see whether we have water flowing. And to my utter surprise, I found that yes, there are some semblance of structures. There are some pipes on the ground, but the project has completely stalled. And to make matters worse, this contractor has already been paid 767 million.
How do we know it has been paid?
You just read the Auditor General's report.
What does the Auditor General say about this particular project? Again, just for purposes of people who may have missed it. What project are we talking about?
We are talking about the Kipkaren water treatment piping project.
Okay.
Yeah, water treatment and piping projects.
When was it launched?
The launch date, I was unable to find it, but I found a site visit by the governor of Uasin Gishu, which dates back 7 years ago.
Okay.
Yes.
Hi. Auditor General?
Yes. This project was being done by the Lake Basin, what we call Lake Victoria North Water Services, but it was taken up by the Rift Valley Water Services. So they are the ones implementing the project, but under Lake Victoria North. So the people are being audited is Lake Victoria North.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so according to the Auditor General's report for Lake Victoria North,
yes,
767 million shillings has already been spent by government or handed over to the contractor.
It has already been paid to the contractor.
Okay.
Another interesting twist to that project is that contractor has already been fired.
By whom?
By the PS, the then PS for water. I think that was about a year ago. They fired this contractor for lateness to deliver the project.
Okay.
But the contractor has already been paid 767 million. So now we are in this situation where 7 years down the line, we don't have a project, we don't have a contractor, and we also don't have our money.
700 million. What does the Auditor General say? What are the questions that the Auditor General raises in the report? So they basically point out that this money has already been paid out towards the project.
Yes.
It has already been spent.
Yes.
On the project.
Yes.
And when you go there's actually no treatment and piping project.
There's nothing
on the ground.
Oh, well, as I told you earlier, there is a semblance of
structures.
There is some structures, but these structures cannot be said to constitute what we can call a water project that is functional or that is near functioning. Yes,
I know you'll get some of those details and even more because I'd like to get deeper into what you've been doing. But let's just take a step back now. Morara Kebaso, people start seeing you on X. People start sending you messages and telling you do this and the other. Even some of them sending you money and support. When did you begin this? What you're doing now?
I started this about 2 months ago when we had the clamor by the Gen Z for change in our country. Before then, I was just a quiet business person going about my business. I ran a business called Morara Home Furniture, where I employ over 75 Kenyans. So I was quite busy with my own stuff. But when the higher calling came that our country is in need of men of valor and integrity that shall assist in planting the seed of change and watering it in our country, I took it up. But you see, in this whole change movement, you do what you do best. If you're a musician, you sing songs of change. If you are a poet, you create poems. For me, I'm multi-talented, and since I'm a lawyer, I'm able to look keenly into documents and find the ghost that is missing. So I started by reading various audit reports, reading the debt reports from the Treasury, trying to find out how much Kenya has borrowed, for which project, what was it supposed to do. And yes, along the way I found my purpose. My purpose was going to be civic education, because I realized that our clamor for change we were losing it because we didn't have everybody on board. There is 70% of the country that is politically illiterate. They they basically don't have an idea of what is going on. And politicians have understood that, and they have understood that language, and now they go to those people and lie to them. This is time now that we need to reveal to those people and to educate them that this is what is happening, this is how our country is being governed, this is the constitution, this is what it says, this is what we can do about this. Yes.
Were you wearing counter suits before this?
I had just one counter suit which I had only worn for one day. In my whole life, I had only worn a counter suit for one day, and it was because it was a friend's wedding. And actually, I decided to wear that particular counter suit to this interview.
This is the one.
This is the one. Initially, this counter suit was actually long-sleeved, but when I realized that President Ruto's counter suits are short-sleeved, I cut it down. I didn't know that I can imitate him until I tried. Yeah. So when I tried, I realized, actually, I can actually speak like him. So why not use his tools against him? He has provided the ammunition. Yeah.
One wonders, how is it possible that there has been launches of so many projects, whether it is a stadium which doesn't exist, whether it is an agriculture project, roads all over the place, money has been spent, promises have been made, and nothing is happening. How is that possible that so many of them are halfway or not even halfway, but money has been used? How?
As a registrar of broken promises, I would say that there is bad manners in governance in Kenya, where people promise things that they do not intend to deliver, and also where people lie to the electorate and there is no consequence for lying to the electorate. I'm very disappointed with the lack of ethics and lack of integrity in our governance. I believe we should do something about it. We are still in a state of self-discovery in terms of what we should do about all this. But yes, as you've correctly pointed out, there are so many projects. I have over 120 projects that I need to go to. There is the stadium in Wote. There is the stadium in Isiolo.
Wote Stadium is complete.
Yeah,
Eric has even seen it.
The reason I need to go to Water Stadium.
Eric even took pictures.
Yeah, I even need to go to the Nuno Modogashe Road. The Nuno Modogashe Road is in Garissa. This is a road where a contractor was paid more than 80 million shillings because his payment was late. That is interest. That's an interest for late payment. Tulikuchelewesha, shika hii. Then the contractor was added 525 million that cannot be supported by documentation. It's not a variation of project. It's not an increase in the bill of quantities. It is just an increase of 525 million, period, nothing. No other words to explain it. It cannot be explained. I need to get there and understand hii 525 million. Ilikuwa ni ya kutoa. Unajua, there is a time you send somebody 1,000 bob na 30 bob ya kutoa. So maybe it was withdrawal of fees.
You also talk about the Ministry of Energy spending 1.4 million shillings on an interview to recruit a project accountant and still did not hire anyone or of the candidates.
Why are we even spending, why are we even spending 1.4 million on an interview? There are permanent employees in the ministry. There's a head of HR, there's a deputy. The people are supposed to interview are there. And the officers are there.
We even have a public service.
The boardroom is there. The Public Service Commission is there. So what was the expenditure of 1.4 million for? I would assume probably they hired a hotel and conference facilities, and still they ended up not getting an accountant.
We can't do much. Can I just do one more? Because I know you want to go. This is very interesting as well. You've also gone to Mercy and Jerry Primary School, and you actually found a goalpost upon which 1 million shillings was spent.
Yeah, so that is the situation in our country. Actually, I was very lucky when they posted that. I was around the area. I was in Nyandarua. I had gone to see a certain road in Nyandarua, which has been actually also launched twice. So that road begins from Captain, goes to Ndunyonjeru. It's part of Mau Mau Lot 4. So I'd gone to see that road, and the citizens there are really suffering. In fact, I interviewed some of them about that road. He has launched it twice. the same person, not different people. Yeah, the President, Dr. William Ruto, has launched the road twice.
Over what period of time?
Are there two different plaques?
Yeah, there are two different plaques for that
Same
road.
road.
For the same road.
Is it in phases? You know, maybe you can go and launch phase one.
First 15 kilometers. Kind of.
Yeah.
Let me read for you the road so that you know it. It's called the Captain Demi Wanjohi Kwamatu Geta Kahuruko Ndunyunjeru access to Muiri Primary and Karima Girls Road. This he is launching it now. This is the 6th of April 2023. That is last year. If you go backwards, you'll find him again on the 26th of November 2018, launching a road called Captain Demi Wanjohi Kwamatu Geta Kahuruko Dunyunjeru Karima Girls Road.
You find, do you have photos?
Yes, I have a photo.
And these,
Looking at them here.
and these were posted on the William Ruto.
This is
page.
William Ruto's official X page.
Okay. And the second time he went, was it launching from a different place?
He's actually opening
No,
the
now
road
the
to
first
the-
plaque,
One
I can't
road
find
from
it.
here to Wote Ndu. You can launch the road from this side. Then you go and launch
Go
it from there.
to Water and launch to Nairobi.
It's okay.
Yeah, when it's completing
It's
now.
Nairobi water, then water to
It's okay.
elsewhere.
So since you want to launch the road 2 times or 3 times, why not do it then? Because nothing has been done. It's okay.
So
you can launch it.
Are you saying not from Captain all the way to Ndonyunjero, there's been no tarmac?
There's no tarmac
Nothing.
at all. In fact, it's one of the worst roads in Kenya. Out of the roads I've traveled to, that is the worst. That road is really bad.
What are the residents saying? Was the contractor on site at all?
The contractor was not on site.
From Devki, this is along Mombasa Road.
Yes.
This is at the intersection, getting to Mavokolokos on one side and then going to Kenani on the other side.
Yes.
There's a road there, yes. It actually, that road crosses past Kenani to go and meet with Kangundo Road on the other side.
Yes.
Hey.
Allocated 1 billion 785 million 779,000.
In
That was in 2021.
That's the budget for in 2021. That's when the project was.
That was when the project began, 15th July 2021.
Okay.
That's when the contract was signed. So the contractor there was supposed to build a 7-meter carriage, a 7-meter wide carriage, lined drains, and 2-meter wide walkways on both sides of the road for a 25-kilometer distance. Out of the 1.7 billion, he's already been certified to be paid 476 million. All right. Out of that 476 million, he has already been paid 238,434,000. He has refused to work because he has not been paid 237,570.
Okay.
But now, the Auditor General, in the Auditor General's report, says this. In the circumstances, there is a risk of breach of contract obligation by the authority, and delayed payment may attract interest and penalties, thus escalating the project cost. That's what the Auditor
So the
General
Auditor
says.
General is saying if you don't pay this balance, because it's already a certificate is out that you ought to pay, then you're going to accrue penalties.
Yes.
This 476 million shillings that was certified to be paid, it was against what works?
If you go to the ground, it's a horror movie. And you can confirm. You see, this is a very respected station. When I come here, we don't say rumors. I've been to the ground. I have seen it myself. I even recorded a video on that road and recorded it for Kenyans to see it. There's no road. What I can say is that there is maram, some form of maram grading, and when you come from Devki, there are like 4 or 5 culverts.
Okay. 238 million shillings is what has been paid already.
Yes.
One would expect that a road which is what, give or take 25 kilometers,
25 kilometers.
right? Devki to Kinani would by now, with 238 million shillings, at least semblance of tarmac would be visible. Something
Something like 6 kilometers of tarmac.
So there's 6 kilometers of tarmac done so far.
No.
No, what is
I'm
that?
saying is that
That's what you
out
expect.
of what has been paid, I
would
expect
have
about
expected
6
something.
kilometers of
But
tarmac. Yes.
kuna lami kwa hiyo barabara bwana.
Wapi?
See at the beginning of the road.
No, that the tarmac that is there is the one that branches off from Mombasa Road, and that tarmac is not more than 100 meters, and that one used to be there. It has not been done by this contractor.
Okay.
That was an access road that was done when Mombasa Road was being built. Nothing. The only thing I've told you that is there is maram and some culverts.
So with 238 million shillings, what has actually been done on this road, which is 25 kilometers, is that it has been marammed and some culverts have been put in. 238 million.
Some sections have been marammed.
Okay.
Other sections are really bad.
Okay.
Extremely bad, especially when it's rainy. Because Athi River, you know, some of its water comes to that road and it washes away bridges and everything.
Yep.
So there are very deep holes there. There are unpassable places there in Kenya, and it's very dusty. When it's dry, it's very dusty. When it's wet, it's unpassable. And actually, the governor for Machakos County lives on that road.
When this certificate was issued, which is the authority? Is the authority Kanha or Kura?
The authority for this road is Kura.
So when the certificate was issued, because of course in a 1.7 billion shilling project, it's paid on milestones. So there's a milestone that was supposed to have been achieved for 476 million shillings to be paid. And the authority said, yes, you've hit the milestone, you ought to be paid. Have you seen the documents that show what milestone this was?
No, I've not been able to see those documents, and they're not publicly available unless Kura gives us those documents, which they will not give willingly. May have actually to take them to court for the right to information before they give you those documents, unless maybe you invite the director for Kura here to bring those documents with him. But our ground verification, as I recorded for you a video, is that there's very little to justify 400 and something million that has been certified for payment. Extremely little, negligible.
And the contractor is not on site.
The contractor is not on site. If the contractor was on site, I would have said, well, this is an ongoing thing. We cannot justify this as a stalled project. This is an ongoing project. The contractor is on the site. But I've toured that road now twice. The contractor is not on the site. I've spoken to residents. I spoke to border operators around the area. I spoke to some people that I found at Kinani's center and stage and asked them whether this contractor usually comes on site, and the contractor is not on site. And the reason the contractor is not on site is because he has not been paid 237,570,925 shillings. There's another thing that we might forget.
Yeah.
Time. You know, in all contracts, when we are drafting contract, even as lawyers, we always write a clause that says time is of the essence.
Yeah.
That's why whenever you're going even into a contract to purchase land, you're told that completion date within 90 days. Time is of the essence in the implementation of government projects. This project, the contract was signed on 15th July 2021. Now, according to this contract, the completion date is 14th July 2024. We are way past 14th July 2024.
That's the completion.
That's the completion date according to the contract. From
Kinania, you go zip up to Kangundo Road.
By 14th July 2024, we should be sliding on that road like kids sliding in a park. But we are way past 14th July 2024, and still there's very little to show for this project. You see, if 50% was done, we would say, well, let's do a contract to extend. Probably we were delayed by ABCD. Let's do a contract. Let's extend the time for the contractor. But this contractor has had from 2021 to do this road. This road, money has already been allocated. He has already been paid part of the money. And see.
And there is nothing on that road that you can see that in any way justifies the money that he was paid.
Yeah.
Bit of a problem there, isn't it?
Complete.
It's a bit of a problem.
Complete.
Did you consider, for instance, that if we look at the planning and the budgeting for roads in Kenya, any consideration for a percentage that perhaps a percentage of roads vis-a-vis what was planned and what was supposed to have been completed, and understanding what is not completed, given the huge array of roads that were supposed to have been completed by a certain time?
Sorry, come back again. I lost you.
Not a problem. Let me start again. Once upon a time, there was a plan to build roads in Kenya.
Yeah.
Now, I'm asking whether you took the time to understand of the roads that were planned, because they are numbered and there are details as to what these roads are, where they go. They start from where they go to. Then there's a little detail of roads that, given the time that they were planned for, those that have been completed vis-a-vis those who are not completed, 1, 2. Those that were paid for, and there's evidence of the money that was actually spent being evidenced on the road itself, meaning you can look at the road and say, this one is commensurate with what this person was paid. Have you perhaps considered that, or given thought to that consideration?
Yes, I've given thought to it, and I have lots of documents of roads that have been planned and done in Kenya, but there are quite many. So going through them is also not easy, and even visiting all of them is not easy either. But this is what I can say. I've been able to pick those ones that stand out, especially from the audit reports. For example, I've mentioned to you the Nuno Modogashe Road. Now, apart from the Nuno Modogashe Road, a bulk of the roads that have a problem in Kenya are in Mombasa and Coast Province. A bulk of them. The highest number, it's in Mombasa and Kilifi and Kwale region. I'll be headed there next to go and show you those roads, how much was paid, and their current situation. The other challenge, City, that you need to understand we have with this issue of roads is, yes, we have roads that were budgeted for, launched, but never started. But we also have roads that were budgeted for, launched, they started, but were never finished. Then we have roads that were budgeted for, launched, they were done, but very poor quality. I was in Malava, I think it's on Saturday. After the president launched the Malava water project. I was there in Malava. He had launched a road there, which begins from Malava town. I looked at the road, and I found that it already has potholes in spite of the fact that it's only 1 year old. It already has a pothole, that road in Malava. So I'm worried about the quality of the works that is being done and whether there is actually quality inspections of our roads to ensure that they are done to a desirable standard, to a standard that is, I want to mention this road to you. It's called the Malava Kimangeti Ikoli Road, launched by His Excellency Honorable William Samoei Ruto, 29th April 2023. Now that road is incomplete first to begin with. But luckily the contractor is on site. But the section that he has already done, it already has potholes.
The contractor for this road has already been paid 238 million. And he says bado serikali iko na deni yake ya 200 and something million, ndio maana hajafanya kazi. I'm going to show you shortly how the road looks like and its conditions so that you see your 238 million mahali imefika, and also you judge for yourself. The contractor on this road is, let me check for you so that I don't. The contractor for this project is JV China Aerospace Construction Group Kenya Limited and Global Link East Africa Limited. Majina mzuri sikudanganye. These are just the same guys hiding under big names. So nafika hapa, this is Kinania Police Post, and that is a signage to Kinania High School, and this is Kinania Center. So angalia sasa muone where your 238 million is. Sawa sawa. Haya. Unaona? Yo. Ndio hii barabara yetu.
Blast.
I'm telling you.
People have been sending you messages and telling you, come and check out our roads.
Yes.
People have also been saying, we'd like to support you. I want us to end on the side of the support, because people are saying we don't have maybe the time to go here, but Morara, you've decided you can go on our behalf. If I send you to a certain place, you'll go, and I can even contribute and donate. Do you have a formal way of receiving this support?
No, for now it's very informal, but I intend to build. Actually, I'm thinking of now going into governance, into taking the call of calling for good governance, and to abandon my business, because I think I'm done with making money. It's not that it is enough, but I need a new sense of purpose. I need a new direction, and I think I found my purpose on this earth. I want to do something that is not about money, but that advances the cause of humanity. So I'm establishing an office. I'm going to hire staff. We're going to do very good research on all these projects and visit all of them. Our mission is civic education, because we feel that we are losing it on civic education, more especially to people who are in villages and rural and slum settlements. We need to communicate to them so that they understand what we mean by corruption in now real, brought real, in example. How is corruption affecting them in their village?
Right.
When you tell somebody about corruption of something that happened in Nairobi, they themselves have never been in Nairobi, or when they came to Nairobi, it was just for an event and they went back. They don't get. But when you tell them about a project that is just next to them, that they use every day, for example, when you talk to them about the Ikumbi Road, which is a road that the president launched, but it has never begun. It is in Murang'a County. So when you tell them about projects that are near them, they get it. You are able to break it down to them. So I believe this is something that we should do. Yes, I've been getting some support from Kenyans. They've been sending me M-Pesa for fuel. It has really assisted me in terms of fuel. So far, I've been able to use 4 full tanks. A full tank for the vehicle is like 18,000. That's about 72,000. So I'm still on with it. I've not stopped, and I'm not about to stop. I have so many projects that I need to visit. I need to go to the Mikinduri, Kunathi, Kadhidhini Road in Meru. That's a place I need to go. I need to go to Ichamara, Rutune, Mukurueini Road in Nyeri. I need to go to Ruringu Stadium in Nyeri.
Water Stadium.
I need to go to Isiolo International Airport.
Okay.
Yeah. I need to go to Githurai Market. I need to go to Olenguruone Stadium in Kuresoi South. This is Nakuru County. I need to go to the stadium in Wote, which in 3 months will be complete. I need to go to Kwale, Mwache Multipurpose Dam. I need to visit that dam. I need to go to Meru. There is a road there for Wero Tea Factory. I need to visit it. I need to go to Bungoma at Sangalo Industrial Park. I need to go and see it. And many, many other projects that Kenyans have been sending me in my inbox, in messages. Of course, the messages are so many, they are overwhelming. But I've brought on a team of 2 more people to assist me shift through the messages, find the ones that are relevant, research them, find out the details, so that we visit them, so that we inform Kenyans about what is happening in their own backyard and how we are actually losing money through either corruption, or poor workmanship, or interest on late payments or pending bills. People assume that because we have pending bills, we are making a saving, but it is not true. As long as we have a pending bill, there is an interest that is accruing. That's why I told you on the Nuno Modogashe Road, the contractor was paid 86 million extra for interest for late payment. So that's 86 million of public funds lost right there.